Hey, Todd here, on location at the National RV Training Academy. And before I get into the questions, why aren't you here taking class with me? Come on, take class with me. That way all your questions are free. Now, the answers are kind of paid for by taking the class, but all your questions are free. So let me go ahead and hit this up. And this is just kind of a taste of what you would learn here if you come take your class with me here over the National RV Training Academy. Yeah, go ahead and sign up now. Hey, welcome to another one of Todd's 2-Minute Tech Tip Tuesday, brought to you by the National RV Training Academy. Hey, before we get to the video, which I know this is the reason why you're here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you don't miss anything. Hit the subscribe button now. Thank you. Now, back to our Tech Tip Tuesday. Dan Crystal, 324, says, Todd, most of the modern trucks have a 120-volt outlet in the bed. So, of course, most trucks now have an inverter with either 1,000 watts or something like that. Of course, outlet in the bed, and this is to run small items. That's not really to run huge items, but maybe up to 1,000 watts, right? It says, most modern trucks have a 120-volt outlet in the bed. If you were to directly plug your converter into the truck outlet, would it be a way to top off your RV battery more effectively than just using the traditional 12-volt from the trailer connector? Some Chevys have a 400-watt, 120-volt. Some Fords, 2,200-watt.
Oh my God.
2,200 watts. Why are you dealing with the Chevy? Why are you dealing with the Ram? All right, so anyway. All right. That being said, what are your thoughts? Now, here's the thing. It's kind of creative. Okay, you're saying, I have this inverter, right, that's going to pull power from the alternator to make 120 volts. If I were to find some way to isolate that circuit for my charger to come over to the truck and plug it in, could I go ahead and top off the batteries? I'm assuming while you're driving. So first and foremost, I have to look at this and go, okay, how do we safely send 120 volts from the truck, and maybe through an Anderson connector, right? And I still got to look at that and go, okay, even an Anderson connector is really not set for AC, right? Because I have to have some type of removable plug. Got to be able a way to secure it from the truck bed over to the trailer. 120 volts coursing down the wire while you're traveling at 70 miles an hour. I do like the idea, okay? But for most RVs, that converter is not isolated, okay? So you're going to have to do some work around that, or maybe buy a secondary battery charger that you could put in there. I'm getting to this. I don't know that the juice is worth the squeeze in order to do that, okay? Typically, when we send power from the truck to the trailer, it's DC, not AC, okay? So this 120-volt outlet is really designed for stationary type loads, not typically while you're traveling down the road. So I know it possibly could be done. I just don't see it as the safest way of doing that. I would prefer you go ahead and start your generator, if you have an onboard generator, and go ahead and top off your battery that way. Or get yourself a DC to DC converter that you can put in the trailer. And as I said, upgrade your wire over to the back end of the truck and then use an Anderson connector between the truck and the trailer to go ahead and top off your batteries. Wonderful question. Made me think about it. But just for safety's sake, I'm going to say, well, possibly not. What are your thoughts? All right, here we have another one real quick. It's from DMC DM. It would have been really cool if it was Run DMC. Am I showing my age? How many of you got some cool songs from Run DMC in your mind? I do. All right, here we go. I just can't think of it. It's tricky. All right, here we go. Hey, Todd. First off, I've been watching you for years and have learned so much from you. Retired cop with a 2005 Fleetwood Fiesta 32S. I have two 6-volt batteries under the stairs and one chassis battery under the hood. The control panel inside, out of nowhere, only shows some of the items on the coach working properly off of battery 1 and no power going to battery 2. Ooh, now we change the designations. Items such as the slide and the stairs do not work, along with the landing gear. It worked before. This coach also has a BBC, a battery control center, the F73 1020. I checked the fuses in the converter, but they seem fine. What am I missing? Okay, so first off, I want to address the fuses in the converter. Now the converter takes 120 volts and supplies the 12 volts. And those fuses are what we call a reverse polarity fuse. If you were to inadvertently put the wires, the cables, to the battery, say positive, negative, and negative to positive, those are supposed to blow in the event that you get those disconnected. But what it seems like, what you're saying is, and I can't tell if it's from this BCC or somewhere else, but it's lost something, right? Lost notifications. Now, you're saying that you don't see that. The question is, items, slides, and steers do not work. Okay, there's no power going to it. Is this BCC a relay type system? Is it a CAN system? And if so, if it's lost communication, then yeah, you lost signal, okay? You are right, you're chasing a signal. If some of it works and some of it doesn't, it's not the converter, right? Because if you're plugged in, either all of it would work or all of it wouldn't, unless they're heavy loads. Now, you did mention some heavy loads, the slides. Stairs, not so much heavy, but the landing gear is heavy. Now, could it be that you've got a battery, the converter's not working at all, and the battery is dying? In that case, those heavy loads may not work, but the lights and stuff still work. By the time I answer this, you probably had already seen, if it was a converter, you got some problems because the battery is dying as you're using it. It's going to be hard for me to diagnose, but it does sound like there's a signal issue. You've got some power, not. And again, because you referenced large items, I would assume the converter is not working at all. You check the fuse, but go ahead and check the breaker. And if you have a multimeter, all right, you put your black on the negative post of the output of the converter, and red on the positive post, put it on DC volts and read the voltage. Now, if you're plugged into shore power, you should see about 13 volts, okay? If you don't see 13 volts, also go over to the battery and check it there. Two places to check, okay? If you don't see 13 volts, then the converter output is not working at all, okay? So I hope that gets you started. And to learn more, again, come to class here, spend a week with me. We'll go over that and get you fixed up. There's your tech tip. All right, before you get to the bloopers, which is why you're here in the first place, the RV industry needs thousands of RV technicians and inspectors, and now is the perfect time to do that. If you want to make more money or have more control over your time, go ahead and click the link below. Or if you just want to learn how to fix your own RV, got something for you there. Head over to rvtechcourse.com and get started today.
Now, for the reason that you're at the end of the video, roll the bloopers.
Hey, Todd Location here. I know some Chevys have a 400 watt. Oh, I'm sorry, Chevy, 400 watts. I'm sorry, I was referencing a Ford at 1,000. Okay, I got two in there. Hey, Todd.